evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 2 between KoreanBBQ A-Set and the Royal Genesis. Gentlemen, my name is Coldblood, and Super Roach will be joining me as soon as he gets back from securing a green balloon for our friend in America, Professor Sniggles. And I hope you don't mind it arriving in about 8 days, boss, and a cash on delivery, of course. And wanted to point out that Mathmos said... hang on, Mathmos said something. Danchi and Framer aren't Korean, so we're being lied to, ladies and gents. We'll have to see how we go. So, we'll go ahead and jump into the champ select here, ladies and gents. The blackout is on so that the players can't ghost off the stream. Shout out to Sincerity, Ducksworth, Velocity 99, and Mathmos. And yeah, so you're welcome to speak in the Twitch chat to everyone watching. Just try not to spam because I don't like it. We have our Royal Genesis guys on the left here. 0-1 down in this best of 3. Although if they lose, they drop down into the losers bracket since this is a double elim tournament, which means they have to lose before they can be knocked out, and they have not lost yet in the series. It's been best of 1s up until now. Shout out to On Solace as well. And I think I've got everyone. Yep. Okay, so Vi, Renekton, and Mantheon, the bans out from Royal Genesis. We haven't seen a single Pantheon all of today, which is surprising. But yeah, he's going to cop a ban regardless. Vi, much more popular in the picks and bans for obvious reasons. And then, and actually, banning it against Danchi Bunny is a very smart choice considering he's very talented on that. He only narrowly missed out on the MVP earlier on for it, which he already got upset at me for, so I'm forgiven on that front. And then Renekton, no one really wants to deal with the old Croc, who is a rock. And I'll just quickly ban out the spammers because I'm not interested in listening to what they have to say. Ban user, there we go. So, for the other side on KoreanBBQ Set A, who are quite, not all Korean, but not all white either. We have Wukong, Yasuo, and Kale being banned out. So I think those were similar bans to last time. Might have been something different to Kale. But regardless, the Mr. Loves a Spooge, very strong Kale player. We saw that in a couple of games below. But before, he actually beat an Akali with his Kale. It was the only one of his team to win his lane. And went on to, spoiler alert, to do very well in that fight. I guess it's not really a spoiler. And Rochi has rejoined me. How are you, boss?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. I was just looking there. They've issued both their bans almost straight away. Is that a requirement? They have to do it before?
No. They just knew exactly what they wanted gone.
So, the other matches I've watched, they're sort of waited to do their bans. Yeah.
No. This is, they have a minute for each ban or so.
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to Troll Mayo, who thinks that KoreanBBQ are going to do well. Ducksworth, justice had been served. The ban hammer, which makes me think of the way the Thor says it in CSGO. And Blue XD. This is the same two teams here, ladies and gents. They've switched sides. So we have our 0-1 down Royal Genesis on the left and KoreanBBQ Set A on the right. They are poised to take this series and... well, trying to head on over to the finals. I'm already excited, Rochi. My favorite champion, Nocturne, has been locked in. I am loving the Feral Flare for bringing him back into viability. We also have Morgana and Jax. So, the first time Jax popped his head up today, played brilliantly by Zion Spartan in the NALCS on Team Coast. He is very talented on the carry top laner, so we will be seeing a bit of the Jaximus. And the team for the KoreanBBQ looking similar to the last game. Danchi going to be taking the Lee Sin to try and make the plays. We've got a Lulu. Is this going mid or support, I wonder? The last ban will determine that. And apparently I need to go down to the floor and tell Spooge he's the best player. You have to tell me what he looks like, Ducksworth.
KKBBQ for life? Thank
for
you,
life.
Velocity 99.
They banned Panth because Sponge 1v1'd me and lost. That's what Alfeek is saying.
Bit of a background story, Coldblood. Tell me again about Danchi Bunny's character, because you were telling me last time he's got this unique sort of fighting style.
Yeah, Lee Sin, very strong early on. His abilities do a whole heck of a lot of damage. He's very mobile, but his damage is very reliant on a skill shot, something he fires out. And when he misses it, which is very easy in a big team fight, either miss or gets blocked, his assassination potential goes way, way down. Shout out
Johnny.
to Tenchi Azazel, who
This is a controversial
I think we've got a
choice.
bunch of people who will go to school together in the Twitch chat.
Oh, good on him. It's just we could say heaps of things.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's continue with the champ select here. LeBlanc was the pickup. She's been banned a lot today, so seeing the LeBlanc come out is pretty awesome. It looks like Lulu will be going into the support role, which makes me happy, Super Roach. She's been played a lot in the mid lately because she barely loses lane, but of course she did get nerfed her offensive potential. It means nothing to you, but her picks last not as long on enemies, so she can't get off 2 glitter lances on the enemy. And the Oriana will be going to the mid. So Hypto once again picking up the Clockwork Robot, the Clockwork Lady, or Lady of Clockwork. I think it's a Clockwork Lady. The robot that has the ball that pulls everyone in. So do they have something to deal with this? They've got the LeBlanc this time, so much harder to deal with the LeBlanc as an Oriana. So things already looking up for our guys at the deficit.
I'm just seeing there, Dusk Orf was saying Snowy. I told Cold Blood to say hi from me. Thank you, Ducksworth.
Yeah. I was meant to go down and say hello to Mr. Spooge.
Oh.
I think they might be saying it. Okay, so we'll have a look at the summoner spells here, Mr. Roach. We have again both sides taking barrier, heal, or exhaust, depending on what they feel like. We have Ignite on both the top laners, Ignite on both the mid laners. Shyvana versus Jax, a very interesting matchup. Very skill reliant because it comes down to the ability damage of Shyvana and whether the counter strike can be timed to avoid the twin bite by Jax. So very, very back and forth. Shyvana really needs to bully Jax away before level 6.
Looking at Chibaba there, she's like my experience of her is like in that video game trailer where she was running around. Is she in the CG one where she's got the teddy bear, or is that a totally different character?
That's a totally different character.
Damn, the fire eyes and everything was awesome.
Yeah.
The time here currently, asked by Velocity99, is 9:44 p.m.
I think he's asking Professor Snuggles because he was saying
nice.
something about not wanting to queue early in the morning on NA, which is I wouldn't want to queue on NA at any time, Mr. Roach, which is shots fired hashtag. Having a look at the matchup, my favorite champ, Nocturne, so I'm instantly going for the blue side, showing a lot of bias against Danshi Bunny once again. Now, Bubble T's Zinix, he knows how to deal with the Lee Sin this time. He knows that Danshi Bunny is going to be spending a lot of time in his jungle. Nocturne, much stronger 1v1. He's able to duel with the Lee Sin, block one of those crucial abilities. And yeah, so things will be looking a lot better. Lee Sin may be forced to pressure the lanes more than counter jungle the enemy, although it definitely depends how it goes. So this is a best of 3 series, ladies and gents. It is currently 1 up for KoreanBBQ Set A over on the right. So they are poised to take this series. Royal Genesis are going to have to win twice in a row here. But when the series is through, the loser will drop down to the lower bracket where they get another chance to fight for redemption, because whoever wins this one, Rochi, is heading into the grand final, which will take place a lot later on after the lower brackets are finished.
And they'll be very proud of themselves to even get to that stage there, because they've played a fair few rounds already, and to get to this best of 3 stage and win through there. That's a pretty good job.
Yeah, you have to be very talented to reach this stage. So it would be awesome to see a grand final between these two teams, but we've got a lot of skilled players in the lower bracket, including 4 members of Avant Gaming. So we have 4 challengers in the lowest bracket. 2 of them on they're in groups of 2 on 2 different teams. So obviously going against players that have played together a lot, they will have a inbuilt advantage. So hopefully we get to see some challenger plays later on, and we'll have to see how we go. So we're going to jump ahead into the skin battle here, ladies and gents, where we see who is bringing the best of the best skins.
Best dressed.
Just wait for it to load up. And another Scumbag of the Night award is going to Cruiser Drizzle for keeping us waiting once again. He's he loves to go AFK for little to no reason, Rochi.
Yeah.
Loves to test our patience. So we have a lot of skins coming out here. I think it may be a tie with...
Is that his stock skin or is that the
No,
custom
no,
one?
that's a custom one.
Yeah.
The Muay Thai, that's a real martial art. That's one that's based on grappling your opponent and kneeing them. I think I said the exact same thing in the first game when he used the skin.
Yeah.
I love the Eternum Nocturne skin that Bubble T Zinix is rocking because it turns him into a robot from the future who's kind of from Doctor Who, sent back to destroy everything. For those who are interested, Eternum Nocturne is actually from the same future that Pulsefire Israel's from. So when PFE came out and he said, I've come back to stop the things that tore apart the universe in my time, that was actually Nocturne, which is pretty awesome. And he is futuristic, which you'll see in the game, Rochi. We've got Blackthorn, Morgana, Nemesis Jax, which makes all of his stuff purple. And yeah, so the skin battle is going to be a tie this time. And we'll have a...
What about Gothic Oriana?
Yeah, that's a decent skin. It makes her ball nice and spiky, so it's even more intimidating. Math Moss calling me out on repeating word for word what I said in the game one, which is fair enough. He catches me.
Good job.
And just waiting for Framer to load up here. We'll look at the level 1 power for both of these teams. We don't get time because we're into the game here, Rochi. This is so exciting. Our first series of the night, and we will have a couple more. So representing Royal Genesis here with everything to gain and nothing to lose. I think I might have said that wrong. Everything to gain. We have Royal G Stealthy moving away from the Lucian to get onto the Warrior Princess Severe. UC Straya going to be playing the Morgana in this game. Jado will be going top as Nemesis Jax. Bubble T Zinix will be the Eternum Nocturne in the mid. Nocturne mid would be awesome, but he's in the jungle, and Mr. Loves the Spooge will be playing the LeBlanc in the mid lane. And Rochi representing KoreanBBQ set A.
Yep, so we have, if I'm correct, we've got Hibito, we've got Framer, Shiba, Dashi Bunny, Danchi Bunny, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I said Danish Bunny the first time.
Oh, well, at least he's got a bit of variety. And Cruiser Drizzle.
30 seconds until
apparently Cruiser slays 4 year 4 girls. That's not nice.
Yeah, that's a bit mean.
Hopefully that's not real. Although I do imagine Caitlyn to be the absolute devil. She's British too.
Yeah.
Purely coincidental.
Having that old outfit. That needs to be cosplayed at PAX. I don't think I've seen that.
You want some cosplay of that? Caitlyn has much more revealing
I've
outfits.
seen her stock ones. Yeah.
Yeah, she has much more revealing outfits that tend to get cosplayed because girls love nothing better than taking a costume and then making it sexualized and then getting upset when people look.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Minions have spawned.
And of course I'm talking to a married man, so he has to be very careful in what he says. The lesson here, ladies and gents, if you want freedom of speech, don't get married. Unless you're very brave.
Wow. Whoa, I need a shovel. Alright, so anyway, we're looking here. I'm watching Royal G?
Yep.
Yep, Royal G side, they're jungly on the top.
Yeah, they're gonna start at the red buff, which is the same as Bubble T Zinix. Both the junglers gonna start with the red. Gonna help them get their start going on. As Banshee Bunny gonna pick up the level 2, as is Bubble T Zinix. And he's going to head straight for the blue. He learned from his mistakes last time, Rochi. This is where Danshi Bunny, doing exactly what he did just now, went for the enemy's blue buff. And whatever, he was on Evelyn that time, the skinny blue lady. Looks like he may make the same mistake, though. Is Lee Sin going to camp in the brush exactly as he did last game? It looks like he will indeed. But this time he's not against an Evelyn. Nocturne has a lot more health, and his Q gives a lot of AD, 15 AD, and his W gives movement speed. And he's going to ward the brush and will dodge the Sonic Wave, Rochi. He learned from his mistake. Lee Sin was doing the exact same thing, which is the problem with redoing a strategy, is the enemy will expect it.
I was almost thinking then, watching it, Bubble was expecting Danchi Bunny to come back, and, well, he did in the end. So let's see if they see each other.
He sees the ward over there, actually going to go in. The blue buff ended up going to the Lee Sin. Jax is going to be coming in, and Lee Sin forced the flash out there.
Great save from Jado.
So this time, the jungler for Royal Genesis does not die, but still has the blue stolen away, which is horrible luck. But Nocturne can recover a lot better than Evelyn, so not nearly as bad. He's going to try and interrupt the recall here, which he will do indeed. Danchi Bunny kind of stuck behind enemy lines at this point. He's going to try and sneak his way out. Shyvana's going to come down and assist him in that. As meanwhile, in the mid lane, a lot of damage going down. Hypto is so incredibly skilled on the Orianna. He's going to force the mirror image out of LeBlanc. And while I remember Rochi, we might actually move around all these things at the bot.
All the things.
Yep. I like to try and match them up so that we have the junglers across from each other, the mid laners, so we can see how they're doing on their counterparts. Because we can see Nocturne.
Each role's comparing, right?
Nocturne's ahead in CS, but Lee Sin will be ahead in experience because he's got more buffs. Nocturne, he did get some of the experience, but most of it would go to the Lee Sin for getting the kill. Bottom lane looking very even, as is the mid lane and the top lane, so things very equal at this stage. Only the loss of the buff, which, like we said, not nearly as bad. And it looks like once again Hypto going to be picking up the blue at level 4. Very uncommon. You normally see the blue, the mids get the blue at 7-8 minutes of the game, not at 4 minutes. The second time this has happened, Orianna can zone incredibly efficiently with the blue buff. Gives almost infinite mana and a little bit of cooldown reduction. Whereas Mr. Loves a Spooch only got the double Doran's ring for sustaining his mana bar.
I'm waiting to see what happens at the bottom, Cold Blood, where you got Caitlyn and you got a 2v2
Lulu
situation going on here, and they're actually attacking the tower. When they have to counter this.
Yeah, Caitlyn and Lulu both very potent. They're just gonna whack away at the tower. And there's not a whole heck of a lot that Severe can do about this early on until she gets some more levels in either Boomerang Blade or Ricochet, able to clear the way before they can reach it, because of course if there is no minions at the tower, Caitlyn can't really shoot it. So that's just what they've got to do. They're keeping it at bay for the time being. As what did Lulu actually end up? He went with the Spell Thief's Hedge, so both of them going to be generating money and poking a lot. And the CS still looking even across the board. Hypto going to be able to protect himself just a little bit too late. Level 5 picked up by Mr. Loves a Spoon. Shockwave will be available before Mimic is. That's the problem with the blue buff going over to Orianna. She's going to reach her ult first, and she's going to use it to bully this LeBlanc around. Chains lands onto the minion, as Nocturne is down at the bottom lane, but they know full well that he's there. And shutting down someone who wants to get to Feral Flare really limits the effectiveness of that item.
Well, you sort of got to make sure you have your item smarts on there to be able to counter each other's like strengths and weaknesses, and it looks like they've got it down to a 2 there, Cold Blood. When you look at here, like the difference, we're 6 minutes in, it's only a couple of hundred gold.
Yeah, I think Royal Genesis definitely learned from their loss in the previous game. Chubba is going to run forward into the enemy, but here's the support. He's not the right target to focus. UC Straya and Stealthy going to be forced out here. Summoner Heal was used. Nocturne not going to take too much damage, so a relatively even trade. They forced out the Flash and the Summoner Heal for not a lot. Only the Summoner Heal out of Chubba as well was the only return. As Nocturne going to hang down here, try and stop this push on the tower, which is very dangerous against the Kate. And looks like Lee Sin will be heading back to the base with 1,000 gold.
It's not too bad. They're looking here. I'm trying to see where the next attack's going to happen, Cold Blood. Like, trying to see what their potential strat out is in the end. Like, what do you think Royal Genesis are doing here? Are they getting a feel for weaknesses of the blue team? Or?
Well, they've got a bit of a weird team comp because LeBlanc should be winning this lane, but because Orianna got so much help from Lee Sin, it's turned on its head. You've got a Nocturne who really wants to be farming, but he's forced to defend bot, so these guys can go back to the base without losing their tower.
Yep.
And you've got a Jax versus Shyvana. They're both farming it out. Both of these champions are very, very strong in the late game. So it's a tough one. We can see both their ultimates picked up. Grandmaster's Might means that Jax is going to do a thwack every third hit, which delivers a lot of burst. Shyvana has picked up the Dragon's Descent, and it looks like a lot of trading going back and forth. Shyvana has more sustain though, because she has the Doran Shield, and Jax only has the Blade, which is inferior sustain over the long time. So
Nice.
shout out
Nice
to
rolling.
Ducksworth. It's apparently the game's flowing quite well, Super Roach. A fair comment, I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm liking the back and forth.
Oh no, Jado's going to go aggressive on Framer at the wrong worst possible moment. He's going to flash away. He pops the Grandmaster's Might, but it will not be enough. Flame Breath used by Framer there. Just very unlucky timing from Jado to go aggressive just as Lee Sin was coming in. I think we've all been in that situation before. Shout out to Tom Deeks who joins us once again. And now the blue buff under threat by KoreanBBQ set A. They will set up a perimeter of vision. And Hypto's going to come in and stop the aggression by Mr. Loves Spooge. He's not going to be able to try and steal the blue. And just like that, another buff secured by KoreanBBQ set A. Very much shutting them down as the bottom lane continuing to look even. Mid lane starting to get bigger and bigger difference. Ace in the Hole is available for Caitlyn, but Spell Shield could be used to stop that. And Shyvana starting to get ahead of the Jacks with that first blood. 400 gold.
It's a good hold for them. I mean,
whoa! Oh no, that's terrible. They can't let it go. Oh no! Okay, we're going to jump back and see exactly what happens in Super Roach. This is Nocturne's ultimate. He's going to use the Paranoia and jump onto Orianna, but she has both Flash and Barrier. Going to use Shockwave to knock him back into the tower. The Flash does nothing. And the Dangerous Game Mastery, which gives health and mana back on kill, means that Hypto will live to survive. Meanwhile, at the top lane, another dive going to be done onto Jax, and it looks as though this may be a 2-0 sweep here. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Rochi, another kill's going to go down. If I had to guess, I would say this would be Ace in the Hole coming out of Caitlyn. She's going to get a lot of damage down onto Severe. That is Mana Shield on cooldown, and I think whoever Ace in the Hole hits here is going to die. As, yeah, just like that, Ace in the Hole hits Morg in the face, and a last headshot will finish it off. So really well played by you, Shreya, to make sure that Severe escapes. Stealthy lives because Morgana dies, which means he'll get back to the lane quicker. He'll get more golden experience. So if someone had to die, they did the best that they could. Still not optimal though. They're going to lose their tier 1 for it. As the top tier 1 looks like it's also going to go down. So KoreanBBQ taking even more dominant lead early on here. They are at... Yeah. They're coming online a lot earlier now, Rochi, which is very much a problem.
Sheer aggression.
Yeah, considering they're 1-0 up, they only need to win this game to guarantee their spot in the grand final, which means they will walk away with a prize no matter what. I think it's about $500 for first prize plus Triumphant Rise and some RP. Second place, I think they get 200 and some RP as well. So that's
pretty good.
Yeah, winning this game is awesome. I'd like that. Whoever loses this series has to go into the losers bracket with 4 members of Avant skulking around.
Oh,
they,
wow.
Which are one of the best teams in Australia. Although they did come in groups of 2 and they attached to random teams. So the members of Avant have actually played against each other in the losers bracket, which is not something you would hear said a lot. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. I'm hoping to get to them. After this series is done, we're going to go ahead and catch some losers bracket games. Dragon will be taken by KoreanBBQ set. Dark Binding lands on Caitlyn, and on the hunt used by Stealthy, he's going to jump onto there. The cripple is absorbed by the spell shield, but the ward jump into the Dragon's Rage used there. Heal will give a little bit of movement speed and health back. Flash at the last second by Lee Sin will finish that one off. Meanwhile, Hypto and UC Shreya are going toe-for-toe in the mid lane. Ace in the Hole comes through to make sure that Orianna picks up the last hit. A second kill of the game. It is now through, I hate the word Masarochi, 5,500 gold in KoreanBBQ's favor.
In the space of a minute or 2 as well.
Yeah, definitely. Things are very much going from bad to worse for them here, as the towers will be pushed incredibly quickly here. The red buff, I don't think it was taken. I don't think it was actually up for Cruiser Drizzle to take. But the problem is, Nocturne with Feral Flare, well, Wriggles needs to farm, and he's not going to be able to. He's going to be forced to sit at towers and defend. Again, Jax, he needs to farm. He's going to be forced to sit under a tower. The last of the tier 1s will go down the mid. Once again, they open up the entirety of the map to themselves. And Ducksworth saying Spooge is stuck in Elo Hill.
The commentary on chat's hilarious. Poor Ducksworth having a self-existential crisis. It's a
yeah, because Mr. Spooge hasn't died yet, so he could be blaming his team. But surely Mr. Sponge is a good guy who doesn't blame his team. It's just being outplayed at the moment. Hypto going to take, well, quite a few turret hits actually. He's going to fall rather low. as Framer going to take one to the backside as well. Shyvana's shapely backside. And is Paranoia available for Nocturne? It is indeed. So if the Royal Genesis guys want to start a fight, they can. The only problem with starting a fight right now is horrifically bad. Because you've got Shockwave, you've got Wild Growth, you've got Dragon's Rage, you've got Dragon's Descent, and you've just got Caitlyn with her right clicks. As Lee Sin going to secure the red for himself thanks to the burn on the Spirit of the Lizard Elder. The enemy AD carry Stealthy going to get his own red buff, which will help a lot with dealing with the Shyvana. And things have slowed to a standstill for a little bit here. The teams taking stock of one another. So, well, actually, I have to say, UC Straya really good at landing Dark Bindings onto Kate here. He's landed that skill shot on her quite a lot, and it binds her to the ground for a solid 2.75 seconds. So a significant CC, particularly since Kate is not going to have any kind of tenacity or Mikhail's. Looks like Locket of the Iron Solari will be on the table for Chubby here, going for the Negatron Cloak. Blue buff finally may be secured here. Hypto gonna chuck a ward. Whoa, Jax is gonna go full aggressive mode. Paranoia used onto Hypto as well. Chubby's gonna fail the flash to get the Wild Growth off, and they will take down Hypto in a brilliant catch there. The blue still goes over to Mr. Loves to Spooge. And a brilliant catch out there, Rochi. I don't know if you saw it, we might actually jump back. Lulu's going to try and flash to get close enough to use Wild Growth, but it was not enough. Actually, no, I tell a lie. I'm sorry, Chubby.
They did take a fair bit of damage for that, but it was worth it for them, right?
Definitely. They secured the blue for their LeBlanc, so she's going to be able to clear waves a lot better. They took down Hypto, who was on an absolute rampage, but at the same time, looks like Nocturne will end up going down to Shyvana as he kind of twitches on the spot. Going to be running right into a Dragon, which is something you do not want to do. Framer is going to be jumping on top of him. Dragon's Descent probably going to be used here, yeah. And the flash at the last second just to try and survive, not enough, as Bubble T Zenex will end up falling. Apparently Melbourne is the best city. Shout out to Ashen17. And apparently there's big land in Perth. Meanwhile, Lee Sin going to be jumped on under the tower. Wild Growth used, it is not enough. Danshi Bunny goes way too deep there. Another kill handed to Royal Genesis on a silver platter, and the other person who was fed. So KoreanBBQ, they're being a little over aggressive, giving kills away where they were playing very cleanly before.
And they've lost their huge gap that they had. I mean, it's still a decent gap.
Yeah, they're starting to close that gap, although, like you say, a very large one to overcome. It's definitely an uphill battle, particularly since Caitlyn is a sniper. That is has a big red target on it.
Wow.
That is a big red target for this sniper. She'd love to take down the tower. Getting the blue and LeBlanc helps. She's going to be able to jump forward and destroy the minions quite quickly. As she's probably just about to do. As soon as they group up, she's going to jump forward. No, she's going to make a complete liar of me. She's just going to last hit them, try and get Severe as much gold as possible. But yeah, so Framer
calling up the top there, Cold Blood.
Yeah, they want to stop Shyvana here because Jado, he can't do anything while Shyvana's pushing down here. But a nice ward, going to get Grand Vision of LeBlanc coming up. Going to be able to back off. And like I said, Nocturne, he's at 12 stacks at 16 minutes. The Feral Flare not being very efficient at all. So we have a bit of arguing over whether AFL or rugby are better, Ochi. What do you think about the footy?
Not much of an opinion. I kick the football, so hence I call football AFL.
Yep, fair enough. That's probably the most reasonable opinion present.
Right. That doesn't get me killed.
Well, I'm sure if the guys in Twitch were in a room together, they'd be doing a little more than arguing.
Oh, really?
I meant that like they'd be in a fist fight.
He's talking about you.
I meant like they'd be in a fist fight because people in Australia love senseless violence. So the tower in the mid, will it go down? The shackle lands onto the Lulu, but they defend the tower for now. They have all of their members here, so it is a Mexican standoff. LeBlanc going to be going in. Flash forwards on through the drizzle there. Hypto going to fall despite the Wild Growth. A bunch of flashes forced there from the red team. Soul Shackles will make sure that Lee Sin goes down. This whole time, Shyvana was at the top pushing. That's why they could take this advantage. Nocturne ends up falling as well next to his opponent, the Lee Sin. But Framer going to demolish. By demolish, I mean slowly whack away at the tower. There it finally does fall. But a couple of kills going the way of Royal Genesis. They're going to be happy with that one. If they can make the tower, it'll be definitely worth it.
Well, watching here, we've got Royal G Stealthy. He's taken some hits onto the tower, and he's fallen back now, waiting for Caitlyn to... Well, she just said go away, and they did. Yeah,
it's very difficult to push against a Caitlyn. She's just going to throw a bullet through the minion wave and then last hit them.
Loving
Football,
this
soccer,
chat, are you?
cookies and biscuits. So I think we'd be a bit biased if we asked which is better to call it cookies or bickies.
Go there without having a black
17 saying obviously cookies. He's a loyal viewer of GTV2, loves tuning in.
Hi Ashen, 17.
Yes, this is Super Roach, one of the higher ups. Is here doing a lot of media work for GameStar, taking a lot of pictures, doing a lot of the hardware stuff. If you guys head on over to the GameStar Facebook, you'll be able to see a lot of pictures that Rochi's taken. If you want to see what the room looks like that we're actually in, there's a lot of green balloons around. It's pretty awesome. Boomerang Play going to go out and almost steals it, but of course, Banshee Bunny going to have his smite available for that. And the blue team could potentially get caught out. They're going to back away though, and Nocturne already forced to build tanky.
So we're looking at 4 to 8.
Oh god, Rochi, I just realized there's 2 Ducksworths.
Yeah, I know. They're battling the whole time.
Okay, yeah. I should probably be wearing my glasses.
Nearly 8k differential, by the way, in Eco.
Yeah, so it's good of Royal Genesis to hold that line instead of making the gap even further, because it'd be becoming unsurmountable. Whereas at this point, they've got a little bit of wiggle room. Not much wiggle room, mind you, but they've got the potential, and we've already pointed out their teamwork is phenomenal. Just the KoreanBBQ set A, their teamwork also phenomenal, and they've got the advantage of 7,000 gold.
What do you think is going to happen in the mid right now, Blood? Do you think they're going to push ahead with what they've got, or are they just sort of baiting them out?
Well, we saw what happened when Royal Genesis engage on KoreanBBQ set A, and a lot of that was due to Severe's on the hunt. They will catch up to me there, but a fight back Shockwave will smash them in the face. Double T Zinix is going to fear Caitlyn, but Lee Sin will finish that one off with the Dragon's Rage. As well, the Caitlyn ult channeled onto the clone there. If anyone gets ace in the hole channeled on them, they will end up falling. Although, well...
Bubble just died, Coldblood, and you didn't point it out.
Bubble, I swear I did. Nocturne died.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I said that.
That's alright then. Carry on.
Thank you to Mathmos for linking the Facebook.
Tower.
What I might do here, Rochi, is jump back a little bit.
I don't think this is going to work out in my favour, though.
Okay, so I'll don't worry, Rochi, I'll commentate. So, what I was saying, we know what happens when Shyvana is away from the team. Chube's going to get landed on the binding, will end up falling, but look at the shockwave. We're going to slow it down, and actually, I think I just missed it by a little bit there, but that shockwave was fantastic. Nocturne was all by himself. Jado had his ultimate pop, still could do absolutely nothing. We have 2 ducks worth, one of them is an imposter. As the command attack goes out, I might actually get it back up to full speed here, Roshi, because it's a little weird to watch in slow-mo. As the bullet will come through, hits Morgana in her behind, and just like that, Hypto turning the fight around. I was saying, we saw what happens in a 4v5, unless Shockwave lands, which it did. Smashed everyone in the face, and now Lee Sin going to be jumping forward. The cripple not going to land on Severe thanks to a spell shot, and Jado forces them off with the counter strike and the threat of it. But the retreat ping going out by KoreanBBQ set A, happy with the advantage they just garnered. The only tier 2 left, the only tower left outside Royal Genesis base is down here, and it's a little bit out of the way.
Good call. But having said that, the eco differential got
Whoa! Okay, we're going to have to watch that one again, Rochi. I'm not quite sure what happened there. As
how did he run from one to the other without being spotted? With Hypto.
Yeah, Hypto, I guess he was looking at the shop or something. Get silenced up, nothing he can do there. 300 gold going into the pocket of LeBlanc. Very nice pickup by Mr. Loves a Spooge. Also going to take down the pink ward as well. Another key pick off on Hypto, who is incredibly skilled on Ariana, so not the easiest to catch him out. I think that was just he brought the shop up and didn't realize that he was dying until.
Sneaky tactic. It's more of a luck kind of thing to play that trick, isn't it? I like Ashen's stats, by the way. Talking about Riot's meaningless.
If you're high up in a league that means nothing, girls will find you more attractive. It's statistically proven, apparently.
It's like a sort of certain Panther thing in Anchorman, right?
Yes. That's you know what I was thinking with the our Ducksworth the dilemma here.
The double
Rochi?
H or the triple H version?
I'm not sure which one's the real one.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was thinking of that episode of what was it? What am I thinking of? Oh, I think there's a comic where this guy.
Look how brave Bubbles is in the middle there. Oh, now he's fallen back. Sorry, you comic. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a comic of a guy who's he's pointing a gun. One's his mother and one's a robot, and he doesn't know which one is the robot because they both say, "Don't shoot me, son."
Yep.
And so he says, "I know how to resolve this," and he starts playing his PlayStation. One of them says, "Get off your Xbox, this is serious." One of them says, "Get off your PlayStation, this is serious." So he shoots the one that got it right, and it was the robot. Because mums never know what the difference is. And frankly, there is not a lot of difference between them, just little things.
Not bad.
We're PC gamers, so we're superior to all.
Master Race, right?
Master Race, fair enough. He says, after that very meaningless story, the bottom tower going to take a lot of damage from little player. Oh, from Caitlyn. The barrier forced there. I don't think it actually helped her in the end, but that was incredibly dangerous for Cruiser Drizzle. He has to be careful. You can't poke away at that tower without consequence.
Never been the same, especially looking at framing here. Wanting to help all the things, and what was that?
Cruiser Drizzle does not want to be involved in this. He doesn't want to be anywhere near the tower, which is fair enough after he almost dies to the jump. Not many cooldowns were used there either. I think they used nothing to just push that off just because there was a little over-eagerness there. So, well, Ashen 17's off to win some Hilo and solo queue, so good luck to you, bro. And back to the game, Rochi. The gold lead has dropped. It's still at 8,000, so it's still holding steady. We've had a lot of back and forth.
Do you think Cold Blood Valor Tactic would here be like they've lost all their towers, Royal G here, that, to be attacked with? Could they, open it up and then, push through top or mid or bottom or something, and unguarded one and smash through as much as they can?
The only problem is if they went for that kind of move and KoreanBBQ said, right, we'll race you, red team's going to reach that a lot quicker than blue team reaches that.
That is true.
That's the only problem, because there is those defenses are a lot more than this. That's the problem. So if they went for something high risk like that, it gives KoreanBBQ way too many opportunities. So Royal Genesis, they're smart to play this one passive, get picks off where they can, continue farming up, get Severe and LeBlanc more items, get Jax tanking now. He's picked up the Bork, because Jax does a lot of damage. He's going to outscale Shyvana, even though Shyvana does relatively well in the mid game. So the best Royal Genesis can do is stay back for the time being, make sure this is warded, so they know when the Bazkebab has started. As we can hear Oriana saying that she knows how to make the ticking stop. Baron will be coming, Baron Dragon will be coming out now. Sonic Wave is by Danish Bunny. Don't worry, buddy, we didn't see it. Dragon's going to be finished off here. Blue team going to try and do exactly what you said, Rochi. They're rushing for the mid tower, but red team is quick on their heels. They've got to be careful. Framer is sprinting into the base. He's going to get the Dragon sent off, but the ball was nowhere near to get the shockwave off. Blue team, they may manage to get out here on the hunt, popped by Severe to make sure they get away. Fantastic disengage from Royal Genesis. They trade the Dragon's Descent for the on the hunt. If the ball had been on Shyvana and she got a shockwave off, that would have looked a hell of a lot different. Is Jado going to get a whack off on Shyvana's behind, which I like saying. And the tier 2 bot looks like it is going to continue to remain the targeted priority here for the red team. So they're drawing the enemy away from the Baron. If they get a couple of kills here, they can just go off and do that. If not, they get a tower and they just back off and continue playing very conservatively.
Just looking on the Facebook page by fellow gamer Emsor was posting a great picture of this.
Very blurry with our mouths open. Great.
You are. Getting quite angry.
You're angry. Okay, I'm angry at something.
Angry.
I'm having a good time, Rochi. How about you?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Settings going on.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't like Shyvana behind has something wrong with them, that's what I say. It's incredibly biased and unfair to say, but whatever. So the tower will now fall to Kate. And once again, the engage going off. Lee Sin going to jump in. Shockwave lands on a couple of priority targets. Nocturne jumps in, but he's in no man's land. The only members remaining for Royal Genesis are the carries. And just like that, Rochi, they're going to jump forward and... well, just decimate the front line and part of the back line.
What's left of the team, really, basically?
They've basically got this mercenary and this mage thing. As Danish Bunny may end up falling, heal will keep him alive as Ignite goes off as well. Dragon's set is backed up. Frame is going to jump in, pops off the Randuins. Sonic Wave does land. Mr. Spooch, will he get out? He does indeed, with a bare minimum of health in him. Now the focus, but they're going to be forced to back out by the timely intervention of UC Straya. Will they recall or will they head to the Baz Kebab? Looks like the Caitlyn is on her way to deal with this wave in mid. The rest is going to get recalls off. Can they interrupt them here? It's going to be the flash forward by LeBlanc. They may be able to pick up Chubby here. Both Whimsy and Dissonance used to try and get her faster, but she's leaving a Nocturne trail the whole time. Fear will not go off, but the Shackle will. Nothing that the red team can do to save poor Lulu here. And immediately they let Severe have the kill. Severe is their hope for the late game, so leaving that for the AD carry to pick up is very worthwhile. The ping goes on in the mid tier 1. They're taking that very small advantage and they're going to try and turn it into something tangible with their first tower kill of the game, Rochi, compared to 7 being taken down by our red team. But they did take down this tower, not the inhib though. So this lane still has normal minions, doesn't have super minions. That's key. They don't have to stay in their base as much because the base is not going to be hit by super minions.
Yep. I mean, once you've got the inhib down, I mean, your first reaction I've seen in these matches, Coldplay, is to run away as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Because you're low on health. You've just taken down your most valuable thing in that.
Yeah.
In that base, really.
Taking down the inhib means the giant monsters will spawn out of this and make their way down to the base. Will make it all the way here. And they'll push on these towers. Yep. So if you defend anything, or actually, Frame is going to be a little bit of...
long, did he?
Yeah, a little bit of mind games there as Shyvana is going to be jumping forward onto LeBlanc. Both distortions used in the wrong time. Dragon's going to come in. Shyvana did not know which LeBlanc was real. Gonna chase down Mr. Loves the Spooge and will get the right one in the end. So a good guess there, taking down the real LeBlanc and ignoring the mirror copy, although it was a 50-50 chance. And Horse is dropping us some knowledge. He's one of the junglers, actually.
Oh, really?
He's one of the players. He's, what is this? To kill 1 in every 10. Okay, so the word decimate means kill 1 in every 10. The Romans used to, I guess it's like the commissars in Dawn of War. They kill a random Imperial Guardsman and that gives a lot of morale to the rest. Or if we don't fight hard, we're going to be killed. Which is, yeah, that's probably a fair call too. Apologies to any Russians if they are watching the stream, although if you are, hopefully you can understand us. Speaking our Aussie English. So the inhib still open, Rochi. With the Baron picked up, the sustain is through the roof for our KoreanBBQ. Yeah, they're going to just demolish the tower. If blue team don't do something, they're going to lose this soon. Shyvana gets jumped on. Well, not jumped on. She gets dark binded, but she is not the ideal target to engage on. She is so ridiculously tanky. She's a brick wall that lights itself on fire. The Chubby going to be engaged on the last ace in the hole used on the LeBlanc clone there, so it does its job. The passive of LeBlanc doing as much as this. So Blue XD, if they win this game, they will win. They will verse whoever wins the losers bracket, which we will be moving to straight after this. So Royal of Genesis, if they lose, they're going to go into the lower bracket, and they've got a chance to try and come back and make amends. So. Yeah, thank you, Mathlos. That's the brackets there. If you want to know what's going on. 10 years age and saying Shyvana as a bodybuilder. It's she's quite slim for a bodybuilder, I'd have to say, but she's a very tanky bodybuilder.
Blue team's
She's actually going to be jumping in with the Dragon's Ascent here. Pops the Randuin, but on the hunt will negate that movement speed. Decent bit of damage goes on to Caitlyn. Nocturne going to fall very quickly. Wild Growth used on Kate just for the heck of it. Morgana also went down in the fight as well. And Royal G, this may be all she wrote, Rochi, for this series, as KoreanBBQ heading straight on over to the exposed inhib that they took down before. And even this one is under fire from the minions, but they may go straight for the jugular. No, they're going to do this methodically. They will take down the tier 3 at top. Nothing that the blue team can do to stop this. And even looks as though KoreanBBQ want to go in. LeBlanc forced to get the heck out very quickly after distorting. Inhibitor goes down, all 3 of them down. 6 super minions per wave will be heading to the base of Royal Genesis, and the Baron buff means that these guys will remain topped off in their health and mana.
Cold blood, then the minions will make it there.
Caitlyn going to be killed from. That is what Lee Sin does good late game. He stops people getting onto his carry by kicking them away and shielding them. Nice shockwave will finish off Morgana, and I think the Dragon's Ascent was shielded there by the Shroud of Darkness, but it is too little too late. Sophia going to be jumped upon, and the aggression from the KoreanBBQ set A will be enough to go straight for the throat of Royal Genesis and take down the first of the Nexus Towers. Cruiser Brizzle barely survives that one, but the Nexus Towers will fall, and no members are up for another 10 seconds. The series will go the way of KoreanBBQ set A 2-0 with a last-minute swag flash from the Shyvana.
GG.
Okay, yes, well played. So we're going to head on over to the lower brackets here, ladies and gents, but we will have to nominate an MVP. Who are we thinking here, Rochi? Who do we think was outstanding?
This is a bit of a tough choice. I'd like to hear your opinions first.
We have to give it to Hipto and Oriana, I believe. 2 brilliant Oriana games in a row.
We
Massive
did see a lot of
shockwaves.
Hipto.
Yes, he did fantastically.
And he's what would you call his term where he ran past the guy while he's in the shop? That was
A mistake that everyone has made. I
Yeah.
think is fair enough. Shout out to Adrian Pones for saying lol. It's a very, very neutral response, I'd say. So, shout out to all the viewers in the Twitch. Thank you for tuning in. That was the semi-finals. Now we're going to go check out what happens in the lower bracket to discover who will be taking on the KoreanBBQ Set A gents to win the prize money, which is 500, I believe. They get
Impressive.
about 2,000 RP, and most of all, they got the triumphant rise. So, thanks to all for tuning in. We'll have to see if Mr. Loves to Spooge and his team can come back in the lower bracket.
He
This
is
is
the best
Cold Blood
apparently.
and Rochi signing out.